All right, what's going on, you guys? This is episode 6 of the Let Me Speak podcast. Thank you guys for tuning in. I am your host, Deasia, and that song you just heard was Call of War by one of our guests here, Millie Tay. What's going on, Millie Tay?
What's going on? What's going on?
Tell the people about yourself. What you got putting out? Any new
Uh,
music?
yes, I do have new music coming out. I actually have music on platforms right now, on Spotify, iTunes, Apple Music, Amazon. The album's called The Warm Up Before the Warm Up. I got this new mixtape coming out called Black Mirrors.
When's that coming out? TBD.
Right, yeah, TBD to be announced. Yeah, to be determined. Actually, we going over some stuff. There was a lot of things that I felt as though I had to redo because of the relevancy. I felt as though there was a lot of things that was outdated with the project, and it's just some of the things that you do on the creative side and the creative purposes of it. But I had to revamp it, make it in date and relevant.
2019
Yeah,
film.
exactly. 2019 film.
All right, so as well, hopefully, as you all know, the Let Me Speak podcast is a podcast based on allowing Black hip hop artists to, speak on important things going on in the world, especially those that affect us as a Black community. But tonight, normally we discuss different topics. Tonight, there's only one topic that I really feel like I just want to touch on all night, and I'm sure anybody could just assume it is the passing of Nipsey Hussle.
Rest in peace.
Man, Milite, just how do you feel now that he's no longer with us? How do you feel about the death of him?
Oh, the death of Nipsey Hussle, it was very tragic. He was more than just an artist. He was a leader. He was a hero to the Black community. He was a real good, spirited dude, and we lost a good one, man. We lost a good one. But if I had to speak on a spiritual level, sometimes what God does is he places angels in certain environments or situations, and sometimes he places those angels there as sacrificial lambs, and it's unfortunate that something like this and how it was done had to create a change. But
Right.
change is very dramatic. Change is very dramatic, and that goes all the way back in history. In order United, how USA was, America was created, it was through violence. Blood was being shed. So not all change is gonna come in a good way.
Good form.
And it's unfortunate. We had to lose a very good guy. But these gangs now are unifying. It's been decades where they were at war with each other, and now they're unified off of just one person.
And it's like you said, like it's just sad that they've unified, but off of this reason,
It is very unfortunate. It's very unfortunate. But like I said, I think everything in life comes from a spiritual level. And speaking on a spiritual level, sometimes, God sends, his soldiers down here. And sometimes they have to, they sacrifice, for other people, and it was very unfortunate. It was very unfortunate.
It's just, he was, in my opinion, he was just more than, a rapper. He brought so much positivity to the community. And I feel like we didn't just lose a rapper. Like this was more than hip hop, in my opinion. Hip hop took a, they took a great downfall losing him too. But as a Black community, we took a great downfall losing him as well.
I mean, some people, he was the modern Tupac.
Yeah.
He was our modern Tupac. And he did a lot for the community, so much for the community. I actually was raised in that community.
Oh, really?
I was raised in Inglewood, but I went to school on Crenshaw and Slauson, New Park.
So being that you are from that hood and from that community, how does it, how does that affect you? Like,
not from the hood.
But okay.
I went to school in that hood.
Okay. But even that, even that being said, how does that affect you? You growing up and being familiar with that area, losing somebody who was so, who was so giving, and so he was such a big, uh, he was such a big inspiration, a big idol, for people in that area. So how does that feel, like losing him?
Man,
what does that mean? Like, what does that mean to you?
I mean, it still hits me to this day.
Yeah.
I mean,
I cried.
It's been a week that's been by, and I've been thinking about it every day. And to me, it was sort of a wake up call for myself, and I think it was a wake up call for the entire Black community as
Definitely.
well. The biggest threat to a Black man is another Black man, statistically speaking.
Yeah.
And it's sad. It's sad. Like I said, it's very, very unfortunate. But we as a people need to wake up.
Yeah. Stop killing
and
each
stop
other.
killing. I mean, when is enough is enough. There and Nipsey, he was famous, and this happened to him. There's a lot more people that are not as famous or doesn't have that clout that's being shot and killed every single day. And it's just that we as a people need to get it together. I was watching this Netflix series. I think Killer Mike. It's called It's Triggered. And he was sort of explaining this. Where it was an episode where he was like, he spent a certain amount of days, buying and spending money within his own Black community. So he would only shop at a all Black owned store, and he will get his haircut from an all Black owned barber shop. And that's the sort of way how we
have to train ourselves into thinking.
That. I mean, the Asians do it. I mean, the Armenians do it. The Ethiopia, every other race does it, but we the only race that be killing each other.
Exactly. And the thing is, like, we have so much power. And, like you said, power. All these other races, we need to support each other as well,
We definitely
nobody's going to support us like our own.
Exactly. And in this topic, we can get so detailed in it, because
let's do it.
it can go all the way back in history. Where our mindset and where our mentality is today can go back all the way back to our history. I mean, in America, how it was founded and started, we was what's the word I'm looking for?
Oppressed.
Oppressed. Yeah, I was about to say depressed.
Now I got you. Oppressed.
Yeah, we was oppressed. We was oppressed since day one. We always had this image like of having a white God. We always have it. We've been having these images of that other races and people that are fair skinned are above us.
Yes.
And I don't know if it's that mentality that got the whole Black community against each other, where it's now a lot of jealousy going on
amongst our own selves, because we are the same race, but just because you're lighter than me.
Or is it because do we not like ourselves? Do we feel as though it's an image being portrayed of us? And
definitely, I think it's a mixture of both. It's definitely an image but being portrayed. You like you said, like you watch movies and it's the fairer skin is always the good guy, or the fairer skin is always the most popular. And rather that be, even with, casts that are majority Black, it not all the time, but majority of the time, the light skin, Black girl, the light skinned Black male, and that is usually the lead. And a lot of the times, the darker guy is the antagonist,
The antagonist,
and
exactly.
yeah, exactly.
And they even had like on YouTube, they did a social experiment. They had like I don't know if you've seen it. They had like little babies and little kids, and they was like, what's good and what's bad, and they showed pictures of a light skinned person, a picture of a dark skinned person. They gave a light skin a action figure that was light skinned.
Yes, I definitely saw it.
And they named the dark skinned people the ones that this is the bad person, this that, but who taught them that?
Exactly, and then that's what I mean. That's what I feel like. It's a mixture of both, because I feel like it has been so that picture has been painted to us so much that lighter skin is better, darker skin is not better, and I feel like because of that, it has caused young men and women who are of darker complexion. I feel like because of what they see in the media and because of how media glorifies lighter complexion, I feel these young boys and girls hate themselves because of that.
Yeah.
And that's why I feel like it, because of the way it's on the media, it tends to cause self-hate.
Yeah, and that's what's going on in the black community. And that's why I also take, like, these musicians and celebrities, everybody's crying right now. Everybody's mourning about Nipsey Hussle, but I want to actually see some change come.
Mm-hmm.
Enough is enough. I want to see these artists and musicians, I even wrote this down. There's a price to everything in life, and there are responsibilities to everything.
Mm-hmm.
And anything you do, there's a responsibility to everything. And these musicians, these celebrities, they're role models. And as a role model, your responsibility is to influence.
Mm-hmm.
You have a strong, influential
Nipsey
power.
Hussle definitely had that.
And Nipsey Hussle definitely
and
has
I feel
that.
like that's why so many people were hurt by his death. That's why it was for me. I called my mom. I was like, Mom, I don't know why this is hurting me so bad. I don't know this man. I never met this man. But like, I'm about to get tears in my eyes right now. But it hurt me so bad because, like you said, he was so influential. He touched people through his music, and
he was one of the few.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, nowadays in this rap game, it's just nothing but copy and paste.
Gimmicks and mimic, yeah.
I'm seeing the same damn thing.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm hearing the same thing. They looking the same. They talking the same. They dress the same.
I can't tell who's who.
I can't tell who's who, and not even in the black community, but I see other races.
Oh yeah,
trying to look like them. It's like it's funny to me. And Nipsey was one of the few that did his own thing.
Mm-hmm.
And that is, like you said, that is why, the community and the people just around the world is so touched.
Yeah.
They so touched, and like I said, it comes on a spiritual level. These musicians, they they gotta watch the stuff they promote, the music they promoting, and the lifestyle they trying to promote, because it's influencing these young kids. And they just out there now. Oh well, I want to pop a perk. I want to get messed up and stuff. And I mean,
and we need people like Nipsey to teach these kids.
Yeah.
I think the way to go, and it just hurts that someone of that stature and that status is someone who was about that we no longer have them.
Yeah. It's just it is very unfortunate, and I pray for his family. Lauren London and the kid they had together.
Yeah.
In the way he was killed, it's disgusting.
It's beyond disgusting.
It's beyond disgusting. I mean, not only did he shot, came back, shot more, and then had the audacity to kick the man in the face. That's so disgusting. And then they're gonna talk about mental illness.
Yeah, because he ran to a mental facility. Well, yeah, that's why they arrested him.
You know what? You damn right, it's mental illness. It's a lot of these motherfuckers in here that's having mental illnesses. It's walking zombies.
Yeah.
They all on drugs, doing these extras. Marijuana's like a cigarette now.
Yeah. I don't feel he is mentally ill. I feel like he had some vendetta against Nip from the jump. Apparently what was said is that Nipsey called him a snitch. So what? If you got called a snitch, you a snitch. You a snitch. Yeah. Even if you wasn't, that's not enough to take somebody's life.
This was an example. I know there's a lot of conspiracies